Welcome back to the Nature Channel. Today we are going deep into the forest of OOP to try to find the legendary Ape of OOP.
What is the Ape of OOP?
Well, basically, the Ape of OOP is the three most important topics in object-oriented programming. Abstraction, polymorphism, and encapsulation make it up. Come this way. Now listen here. This forest is very dangerous. The Ape of OOP catches us off guard. We'll be in a right pickle.
It's really dangerous. So why are we here?
Oh, what an excellent question. You see, we are stereotypical adventurers that always seek out danger for the entertainment of others.
I'm not an adventurer. I'm working this camera for minimum wage.
Whoa, look over there. It looks like the clue to the first part of the Ape of OOP. This must be the first part. Abstraction.
What's abstraction? It sounds really cool.
Well, you see, abstraction is when your program uses a bit of code that you don't particularly care about trying to understand.
But not trying to understand it? Isn't that a little lazy?
My motto is, if it works, don't question it.
Alright then.
Despite the fact our adventures lightly skimmed over the topic, this short segment will be going a little bit more in-depth in what exactly abstraction is. So basically, abstraction is the concept that in computer science, you do not necessarily have to know how a method works to be able to use it. In this case, I'm using the dot equals method to check if two strings are equal, but I don't exactly know how it works, I just know it does. And in this case, I don't know how it works, but it does. So that's basically abstraction.
Look over there. What's this? Wow, this must be the second part, polymorphism. This is in the ancient language known as Java.
What's that? I can barely read it.
Oh, I've spent many years studying this ancient language. If I just give me a minute to translate this. Using my skillful expertise in this ancient language, I've come to the conclusion this must be the concept of polymorphism.
Our adventurers found yet another clue on the path to discovering the Ape of OOP. This time, it's polymorphism, the second concept that you need to find the ape. Polymorphism is the idea that in computer science, you can use two different methods on two different objects and get different results. In this case, Odie and Garfield, which are cats and dogs, will both be asked to speak, and they speak quite differently, as Odie says woof and Garfield says meow. You can check this checking their methods. Odie, which simply returns woof, and Garfield, who simply returns meow. Now back to adventure.
Polymorphism must be really cool.
Oh, it is indeed very cool, but we must keep exploring. Let's continue down this way. The last clue must be around here somewhere.
Will it be as obvious as the last ones, or will it be hidden?
Well, I guess we'll have to just see about that. Well, look over there. Is that what I think it is?
Whoa, is that the last clue?
Oh, it is indeed, my apprentice. This is Encapsulation.
Whoa.
This is the last piece of the puzzle to finding the Ape of OOP.
Our adventurers have found the very last piece of the Ape of OOP. This time, it is Encapsulation, which is using setters and getters to defend your variables from unwanted changes. In this case, it's not really doing much, but it's more to serve as an idea of how they work. Get Untouchable is an example of a getter, as you can tell by the title, What it does is when you call get untouchable, it simply returns untouchable, the string you don't want to change. So if you wanted to print out untouchable, you would type system.out.println encapsulation get untouchable. Now, set untouchable is an example of a setter. When you call set untouchable with using a string as the parameters, it will simply set the string that you put as a parameter to untouchable. This is supposed to protect like maybe an int variable from being way too big, but in this case, it doesn't really matter, as this is serving simply as a demonstration of how it works. Now, back to the adventure.
Get out of this force now, before the Ape of OOP finds us, catches us off guard, because then we'd be in a right pickle.
Is that the Ape of OOP right behind us?
Oh, I guess we better run.